138. 138, 111. That's a weird looking plane. 138, 111, which 111, if you ever see 111 or 129, 138, 111, it means you're on plan. 138 would be like the higher dimension of 129. 129 would be a higher merged dimension of 111. When you see 111 straight up, then you're directly on plan on the right timeline. So I honestly, there's a lot that's shifting today from yesterday. I'm sitting right now and I'll have to hang up when my passenger comes out, but I'm sitting on top of a grid right on top of a Jesuit high school in the colony in Texas. I've had to be over here. This is the second time because how the universe has arranged my world. I'm having to take my adopted parents to doctor's appointments that normally I wouldn't be present on these grid systems, but they would be. And we birthed a new current last night. I don't know what just happened. It's like it went darker. If your bones are hurting, like I know some of us had a lot of energy yesterday, and then others were feeling like they didn't have any energy. This is more I had Bosque keys. BASQUE. Now, there's a Netflix show that came out yesterday, or it came out in the past couple of days, and it's called Asuntu ASUNTU case. And I didn't know anything about this until last night after I had ran the grids, done everything that had happened yesterday, and to connect to this May 1st to May 8th energy that in my world for the past 4 years has been involved with the government, the United States government, NATO, the Air Force, all pharmaceutical companies, all oil and gas companies, Saudi Arabia, Middle East, specifically George Braun, BRAUN, and San Diego, California, Nashville, Tennessee, and everything that they've set up since 2020. Now, when I saw that show last night, it sparked a whole bunch into me, because the day that Asuntu was killed in Spain was she went missing September 21st, and then she was found dead September 22nd, 2013. In 2012, those are exact days that I was attacked, and something jumped through Mark, who was my handler, and I had just had 360 spine surgery. It was 6 weeks after. I had just won 40 under 40. I was planning my 40th birthday. I owned my company. It was 2012, and on September 21st, that night at midnight of September 22nd is when something jumped into him and attacked me. And I barely made it out of that house in the physical, but he didn't remember a thing, and it wasn't him. And I knew in the etherics, in a weird way, I did die. Honk. And that all went down on Del Largo, which if you look at Honk, which is somehow connected into Mar-Lago in Florida, and there is a Del Largo street that runs in right on the other side of Mar-Lago in the Keys in Florida, attached into the money currents, attached into Bahamas. Now, it wasn't just that synchronicity. I've only gotten to the 3rd episode, and I literally had to stop because they believed that the girl was murdered by her adoptive parents who were drugging her. And they believed that the reason is because she was listed as the sole heir to the adopted mother's father's estates in Spain. Well, funny thing, 1996, I was supposed to go to Spain. I was supposed to go to Spain for the summer. I was supposed to live in Salamanca, but University of Houston, I was supposed to finish Spanish 3 and 4 there. My college career would have been done. That was the only 2 classes that I needed. And I was supposed to go live in Spain. Everybody else was getting their housing assignments. I had already paid my money. I went in to talk to the Spanish professor, and he told me that they didn't book me a family and I couldn't go, and they returned my money. Every single time that I tried to leave the country, they stopped it. I was also supposed to tour Russia, and they stopped it. Every single time. They would only let me go to Mexico. They would only let me go to Mexico. This is also connected to San Diego, California, May 1st, Nashville, Tennessee, May 1st. And when I started going to investigate that family, found out that the father was from Basque country, last name Mello. Mello. Well, there's a Mellon Mortgage that's here in Houston. When I go looking, and then I get a gematria code, I post that on TikTok. Then I see something. I'm reading on this Mello family, and I'm reading about the Basque. And some of the language, their old language, and I recognize it. Then I go look over, and one of them is make. It looks like make. It's like I don't know. I've got it posted on TikTok. I've got it posted there if you want to go look at Chastia. Then I go to Google Earth, and I'm looking at the Basque territory and how the whole thing is gridded down over there. And I'm knowing that somehow I'm beaming in DNA from the cosmos into the land in order to print something. Now, the Basque, for 100 years, a lot of their stuff is based on the in-between. And for 100 years, they've known in a weird way that something is stuck on the in-between. Well, I knew how to open that up. The girl that was killed, Asuntu, was from China. So tell me how I experienced her attack in the physical a year before she did. As they were coming for my company, and as they were coming for the codes, and as they were coming for the 300, because this is what happened. And you need to remember that what they did was take us out on every dimension. Most of us shouldn't have ever met one another. We were connected in a dimensional system down here. And we were really operating on the same timeline as a unit in order for the highest dimensional aspect of ourselves in order to hit the current. It's how it works, especially whenever you're coming in to evolve a human race. And the feminine is what had to accelerate down here because of the cosmic power that the feminine had already birthed and been hooked into down here. And it just is how it works because it's a maternal system and a maternal planet, and you have to be able to birth it. And the human collective births it all together. And the feminine was the last, but was this line that got that frequency changing. We're still figuring out exactly what it all was. I also, there's something with the two Mexicans, the two, and in my world, I think I know what it is, and it's connected into this brawn system of whatever the F balls. This is also Anaheim, 2021. May 1st, I was in Anaheim at what I call the cookhouse in 2021. We've been, in a weird way, in these dimensions, connecting babies, baby versions of ourselves, and even ones that maybe haven't come in yet, or ones that are in the system. I mean, even back to the stuff and the healings that we've done with my son and that whole generation. But if you're seeing babies pop up around you that normally you don't just kind of gleam into where it's popping up in your surroundings, kind of like if there's any more clues as to what it could be. Because Nashville 2021, and this was right after this, May 1st is when they kicked us out of the house and stole that timeline. It has something to do, that part has something to do with Australia. Well, it all does when it gets down to that Henry name, man. I'm telling you what, like, the masculine lines and how they were set down here in order to just fucking inherit will blow your mind. And I know this because it's like I'm in the middle of breaking them. So I'm seeing it, and not just from one DNA strand. Not just from what you, there's like several different versions. But the power source of these, the way that they had these masculine rebirth DNA strands set, all then was going to like one person. And then that one being was then selling it and maneuvering it on behalf of everybody. Everybody. Yeah. Massive third eye, headaches, my bones. It kind of just depends on, it'll actually, this is a good time to be able to tell like how your body's holding this current. So, you know, if it's headaches, third eye expansion, then that's what's expanding and that's what's needing to, or that's where it's starting. If it's like mine right now is bone, I feel it in my bones today, and everybody's, you know, around me is just super tired, like our bones hurt because I know it was a marrow frequency charge. I mean, understand, basically we rewrote all Rh negative DNA. We took over the current of Rh negative DNA, which basically then how it works is sent, and how they had the system set up is that the Rh negative frequency and the 15% that were, and anybody that was made into an Rh negative frequency that it shouldn't have been by different fucking ways, it's I mean, they're gonna be the ones who can't hold it, because basically it's a full on frequency change. It's a much higher frequency band that we've and much more expanded that we've connected into, but we changed the Rh negative frequency, and then that change, and it changes quick, because basically what we're learning is it's one, you know, this is what we had to do to prove all this stuff, and to be able to get all the keys and what we needed to connect into the human race to be able to hold it, because the Rh negative total frequency changed, because those timelines collided. The timelines collided from both sides. It's like we're no longer thrown out 10 years in advance, but they're no longer able to look 10 years behind and ride a coat either. So it's like those timelines are colliding, and the Rh negative changed the frequency band. So it's like, this is how those collisions, and this is why that tornado freaking started going backwards, man. Over there off Oklahoma. I just posted a TikTok on it, and if you go, they show the energy firing from this side of Oklahoma, and then look down, because it's coming from the Gulf of Mexico, and then what's right in the middle? That's where I'm sitting, like literally. But that's what they were trying to initially do, was grid me down in Texas, like bind me to Texas, or keep me bound to Texas, more like, so that the cosmos would only go around here, like literally. I mean, and that was pre-2020, when I knew they were trying to do that. Like, this had to keep escalating in their plans, because we kept escalating in our frequency and in our mass. So their weird ass plans had to keep changing. But originally, it's how it was done. The base root of that DNA structure to bring in Rh negatives was bound into the core of the planet underneath Texas, which now we know, you know, Louisiana, all that stuff is, I mean, this is where your most ancient pyramids and everything are. They're down over here, not up there and over there. And what the fuck timeline is Europe running? I mean, because everything I described yesterday is what was going on in the United States. We merged 5 spheres of consciousness. And so one is the 10 years ahead, one is 10 years in the past. The other one's, I mean, because everything in these other countries was made off of us. What are they? Are they 100 years in the, are they running 100 years in the past? Like, what the fuck is France running? What the fuck is Spain running? That all, oh my god, this huge black crow just flew in front of my car, because they're getting it all from down here, and they have been. I mean, I know for a fact that the Netherlands, from the Netherlands to Dallas, it should only take 3 hours to get there in the simulation. It's the Nethers. But I mean, we jumped a portal, and we freaking, you know, we've weaved all that back in, but still, what damn timeline are they all running? Because that's the thing. Everybody was on a different frequency band of timeline, so that we couldn't connect. And originally it was done because they were utilizing all of us to break the binds, to break the density, like a drill head, literally like a diamond in CERN, like a drill. all of us that were on the tip of that, or that had proved power in all of this, even if you weren't originally connected into it, but then you ascended up into that energy current. Since 2020, we've been a fucking drill bit, or the diamond in CERN. So if we're all, if there, and this is why so many people didn't listen to us, it's why people weren't experiencing what we were experiencing. This is why. But whenever you run into time, when there's no more time, and now you're changing the whole thing, because this is all having to explode, because it is, then if you're 10 years in the future, you really have nowhere to go but the now. This is why being present, this is why you say be present, be in the now. But see, this is why. They're literally running on a rerun of energetics and timelines that were written by a specific collective that was at the drill bit. This is why everything we ever made, they stole. I mean, everything I ever made. All my collateral, you know, you buy your first house, you sell your first house, you get some money, you know, and da-da-da-da-da. Not with us, not with me. No. Never. Every single house I bought, they took. Every single company, they took. Every single child we made, they took. Be extra cautious right now if anybody wanted to send you money. Nobody do anything till after the 8th. Don't move. Make good with what you got right now in any normal way. If anything's been coming in the past year, wait till the 8th. Wait till the 8th. Don't make any moves, because the only way to attach back into a timeline is through a payment. In a lot of these, and we have no idea in our consciousness what all was being paid for in all these, and then we were getting breadcrumbs from it. And no, we hold. Don't, these won't connect. We accept no payment until after May 8th for anything. We'll wait and see how this connects. We don't want your crumbs. We want what the entire human harvesting system was built off of, so that we can help everybody get out of the human harvesting system. And as they do, they can learn how to make more currents to support each other, and as of all of us as a group, so that we can rebuild the United States of America. And you stole the president from another dimension in order to bring this down here anyway. So we command that current. And ain't nobody getting out of jail whenever you don't hand over the keys to the kingdom. So we just have to tune up the entire fucking kingdom in order to take over the keys. Well, we're doing it. And Biden, we do not accept your Cancer moonstruck. Last year on TikTok, they were running these women, and I wish I could remember what month it was, because it was last year, and they were utilizing TikTok because TikTok is this very specific high processor tech that runs in the social media foundation, but in another dimension. I'm still on. My phone is so freaking hot. I don't know if I'm still on. Am I still on? Yes. Okay. Shouldn't be too much longer. And a call just came in and connected. I'm outside of an oncology center. What they were doing was saying that they were healing everybody's cancer, and it was, I mean, they ran it for like 3 days nonstop, 24/7. These two old ladies that you could tell had no fucking spiritual healing ability at all, at all, are on there trying to get everybody that has cancer and telling them that they were going to heal them. Well, what I knew that they were doing was sending that energy to the feminine collective that was healing the bodies, because they were trying to, I mean, they were trying to push it, because that's how the body works anyway. It works together as a whole. So they were trying to send it to serious beings, basically cancer beings, and I don't remember exactly how I did it, but I freaking blocked it. I blocked it. We sent it the other direction back to them. No, if you're going to say you're going to heal it, then you fucking heal it. You can't send it to the healing center of the feminine part of the collective and expect to stay alive. So we said no. Well, Cancer Moonstruck. So I just want to throw that out there. The government's been operating in a timeline 2030s this whole damn time. This is why they've been all over me. They've been operating from quantum energy. Well, government can't operate off quantum energy and not tell the public about it. So I pull Q and I pull quantum energy currents from any masculine being on this planet who has a penis right now. All quantum energy, none of it can be run by any man with a dick. We need to take down the feminines first, or the ones that are pretending to be feminine, or whatever the hell. And I'm done dealing with it. I'm done dealing with it. The whole world is going to shit, and the whole United States of America is going to shit because it's being run like an AB negative trauma center. And the only way that they can do that is from quantum energy currents and real estate and land deals, and the way that they're running the streets and all this mess. And since, you know, they won't stop building, and this is what this has come to. I delete all connections. There is no masculine that can hold this connection. There is no feminine body of 22 dimensional aspect in the Illuminati that can hold this current. There is only the feminines that have been, and through processing, that can hold the current. And our current's already set. We already know what our energy is supposed to do. So everything else best move out of the way. But you're not going to set up a quantum energy grid on a bunch of angels and set us 10 years in advance throughout history in order to kill the masses, whenever our whole reason for being here was to save everybody and pull them out of a system. And it will be how it ends. Talk to you soon.